weather is starting to get a bit cooler here in the UK. Just wanted to send you some love as I move into what we're going to chat about, what I'm feeling called to chat about today. Of course, have some beautiful mama cacao of the Solomon Islands to ground me and open me up into speaking about letting go with the seasons. The seasons are changing. I've just been here at the park looking at all the beautiful leaves. I guess it has been a very dry summer, so there's definitely been a lot of dryness with the grass and stuff, but definitely leaves are starting to drop now, maybe a bit earlier than normal, but nonetheless it's giving that feeling of the season changing and of letting go, as within so without. And I always love this quote by Rumi, especially around this time of the year. Be like the trees and let go, something like that. Let go of what no longer serves. Oh, I know what it is. Be like the trees and let the dead leaves drop. Let the dead leaves fall. Like all these leaves that are starting to drop all around me. It is now that time for us to do so. And you know, when we release things, it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. You know, it may be a divorce, it may be a grief, letting go of someone, letting go of a situation, a job, or a house you may be moving. But it doesn't always have to be necessarily a sad thing, because I believe there's no good or bad. It could be something very exciting that you're moving on to. You may be changing a job, you know, and or moving house, and it's a very exciting thing. It's a new chapter, but there will still be an element of letting go that will need to happen for the old house, for the old job, for the old chapter, because when we don't really allow ourselves to fully let go and give gratitude and thanks to what we are leaving behind and moving on to the next thing, that thing that we're supposed to be moving on to still exists in our energetic field, in our realm. So it's very important to take time to really sit with yourself and allow yourself to release, no matter how that looks like. You may be a person that likes to journal. You may be a person that likes to go out into nature and just kind of sit and process the experience that you've had, whether it was a marriage that you're leaving behind, whether it was a relationship, a job, as I said, a house that you're leaving behind. Really sitting on it and reflecting all the lessons that that experience gave you and how you truly grew in that phase of your life and what you learnt, because I believe that's what we came here to do in this life journey, is we came here to learn, grow and evolve. And sometimes the growth is really massive and you take massive leaps, and sometimes it's very small, and sometimes there seems like there's nothing happening at all. And I look at it like the seasons, right? Like when we come into winter, it's cold, it's dark, there's not a lot going on, and you're very much in your internal hermit mode. Sometimes we may seem like there's no change happening in those moments, but actually sometimes that can be where the biggest change happens, because you're allowing yourself to be still, to be silent, to slow down. And that's where the growth can also happen. Growth and evolution isn't always this big grandiose thing that happens like that. It can be slow, like the seasons. So talking about the seasons, we are coming out of on this side of the world anyway, we're coming out of a summer and slowly edging our way into autumn. If you're on the other side of the world, you are coming out of winter and you're slowly coming into spring as things start to come alive. But as our ancestors always did, they lived seasonally and reflected, internalized what was happening in the environment. And so now as we start to change change with the environment's starting to change, we will be feeling that within our bodies. Drop me a comment if you feel that in your bodies right now, that you're feeling the change and you're feeling the that something's happening. And it is important to reflect on the season that's been, whether it was just the literal season now or the year before or 10 years before, because sometimes we don't really give ourselves the time to process life, to process what we've learned, to process how we've grown and evolved. And I think it's really important to actually take time to reflect on these things, because you can give yourself grace. You can give yourself grace for who you were. I believe we're always doing the best that we can at any moment, and sometimes it's we don't do good, and that's okay as long as we learn from that lesson. And I think it's very important to not be so hard on ourselves. Give ourselves grace. So yes, releasing season, I like to call it. I feel like autumn is very much a releasing season. And yeah, be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. You may like to journal, get into nature, as I mentioned. Find a way that intuitively works for you. I will be holding a release ceremony here in Birmingham, the UK, where I'm currently based, at the end of the month, and it's actually connected in with the full moon, which is really cool because the full moon also brings us energy to illuminate what we are truly ready to see, what we're ready to let go of. So if you're in Birmingham, send me a DM if you'd like more information. Birmingham, the UK, not the USA, about my full moon release ceremony. We will be having, of course, some beautiful mama cacao from the Solomon Islands, where I am from, indigenously born there, grounding that in, moving through some gentle movement to get the energy flowing through us. We will be taking time to reflect and journal, and potentially a little fire ceremony to help release and alchemize what we're ready to release. Oh, I can feel the chill already. It's been so hot here in the UK. We've had, I think, 6 different heat waves. Last week we got up to 37. And it was very hot. So with the slight change of weather, I can feel that wind, and it's not even cold, but you can definitely feel the change in the weather. The change of the season, change is here, and I think it's so important to remember that the only constant is change. Things are always changing, like nature. When we try to hold on to things in life, that's when suffering can come. So just remember, things are always changing, and not to be attached to summer, not be attached to spring, autumn or winter, because these are all the seasons. This is the rhythm of life. You are nature, you are the rhythm of life. So whatever is happening externally is going to be happening internally. So happy releasing season, everybody. Take time to sit, reflect, give yourself gratitude and grace for your journey, and continue along your path, knowing that your benevolent ancestors are always with you. Source, God, universe, whatever you like to call it, will be there to help you when you ask for the help. Send me a DM if you want more information, or a little comment here about my release ceremony on the 29th of August here in Birmingham, the UK. Yeah, but until then, keep growing, flowing, evolving, and being. Much love, dear souls.